All right. What is up, everybody?
What is up, guys?
Welcome back to another episode of Simply Investing with Morning Market News. We're on episode 31. So we're definitely
Yup,
making
and
it.
I see the Fear and Greed at 61 today.
Yep. So let's go over some news here for you guys. Glad to have you folks in here as people start trickling in. Right now, as you can see, we got the Fear and Greed Index is at 61. We're down about a little over a quarter of a percent on the market cap at about 1.67 trillion. Trading volume is down about 10%, down at 54 billion. So last week we were hitting pretty high numbers, over 100 billion. We're now back to the middle range. We have Bitcoin dominance at 49.8%, Ethereum at 18.1. Uh,
It's gone up.
Yep, we're definitely going. Ethereum has been rising too. I saw it spiked over 2,600 yesterday. But we got Bitcoin.
It has been kind of,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said it has been kind of outperforming Ethereum. I mean, Bitcoin, not on the year, but in the past month it has been.
Oh yeah, it's been performing pretty well. I think it's just people preparing for a bull run. But like I said, we kind of Cody and I kind of anticipated this downturn that we're starting to have, and it's starting to show through. Um, But we got Bitcoin holding 42K, kind of in that 42, 43K range. We have Ethereum holding strong at 2,500. We got Solana at 99. We also got XRP starting to fall down. We have an 8% drop. It's kind of holding at 56%. We also have DOT holding at a little over $7, down about 2.75 of a percent. We have chain links down about 5% on the day, and we have Quant, which is holding 116, only down about a percent. So Quant's been kind
Quant's
of
been holding that 116 range because we had that run up to 150, and then we had that downturn from 150, and I think the downturn being 116, it's holding that pretty well. It's a big resistance spot for Quant.
oh, absolutely, and I'm probably going to commit to buying some more Quant, but I can tell you guys right now, I'm definitely committed to buying a little bit more XRP as to hold on to my position there. So I'm probably going to be just holding and just buying as we go down. It looks like we might get that nice 15 to 20% correction in the crypto market that we've been talking about, because now that the holiday season cooled off, people aren't getting their money from taxes. Um, we're literally just kind of waiting, so
Yeah.
it just be careful out there. I wouldn't try to invest in any of these one-offs. I do see a lot of YouTubers starting to promote like their market picks and everything. So I'm starting to see the 100x videos again, the next 100x and next whatever. So just be careful out there. I'm only investing in the blue chip cryptos, the ones I know are tried and true, and that are going to be worthwhile to get into. But going on to the stock side, we're still having a good month. I mean, overall, the Dow's holding at its highest ever, 37,000. Is probably going to keep rising at the rate things are going. We got the Nasdaq over 15,000, and we got S&P at 4,756. So I have a feeling like those markets are we're going to start to see a correction there, but not for a little bit, as the values of my stock portfolio just keep rising and rising. As you guys know, my portfolio, I announced in the beginning of the year what my portfolios were, but right now my stock position, stocks and everything my individual picks are about 2.8 million, and what my holdings are about roughly about 4.5, 5 million. So those are like everything that was merged over my last 23 years of working. So my
Dang.
days and everything that I merged together, all my constant paying into it, and Wealthfront and Betterment, and using financial advisors for that. So those are pretty. Those are
Yeah, one of my
pretty
strongest.
high. Go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You can go ahead.
So I don't see anything happening in the stock market. Everything I'm buying on the stock market is for the long term. So like right now, I'm still holding on to a lot of what I was over the last year. Like Bank of America, Walmart, Coinbase, Healthcare Association, BlackRock, AT&T, Apple, Microsoft, Porch Moving Group, ORC, and NLY. They're two mortgage companies, and I'm actually been expanding my position on NLY as well. So, and for those of you that are new, NLY is a mortgage management company and private lending company. So they pay a very high dividend, and I just keep buying. I've been buying it over the last 3 or 4 years now, more so in the last year and a half. As
Sounds
we
like a good pick.
It is a good pick. The price overall has gone down. I will say this, guys, those type of companies are subject to reverse splits a lot of times. So just be aware of that. You might wake up one day and see like a 5-for-1 reverse split, which means if you had five stocks, you now have one stock, and it increases the buy-in value to that share in that company. So just be aware, don't want to, if you know that the reverse split is happening, don't start investing yet. Wait till reverse split happens and then buy afterwards. Or if you got the funds, buy as much as you can. So that way you can get in on the price jump. But other than that, Porch Moving Group has probably been my most successful overall individual pick. I'm going to pull that one up here for you guys.
Oh yeah, I've been looking into Porch Moving Group actually.
So they are set to make some pretty good price gains over the last 3 years. The company bought and merged a lot of other brokerage businesses in the moving industry into one company. So they were down really low. I forget where it was. Yeah, right here. So like this most of this year they were a dollar or less, and I just been buying the crap out of it. And then lately it's on its way back up because the profits are coming back. The moving industry is going to have a good 2024 year from what I'm looking at, as well as real estate. However, this is probably going to be like the last flicker of the flame before the flame goes out. So just be prepared, guys. Like this is if you're looking for short term, I would not hold this stock for more than July or September. But for me, this is one of my long-term picks. So if I see another drop down to the dollar range, I'm going to buy up a tremendous amount of it. However, if I do see that it hits like $5 or $6 in the summer, I'm letting you guys know I'm dropping this stock like a hot potato. I will liquidate my position in this company. So just be right. And at that point, that would be a 10x for me because I got 90%. My average buy-ins 58 cents on this stock because when it dipped
Oh my
down there, I
goodness.
was buying like crazy, and I was putting tens of thousands of dollars every day because it kept dropping, kept buying, kept dropping, kept buying. And I was buying when it was over $1, and I was just normal dollar cost averaging in. But then I saw a dip, and I just started buying like crazy because their business was they're starting to boom. They paid off their debts. They're going to be in a good position whether the economy does well or not in the moving industry. They're in a good position for that.
Yep. It looks like it. I've been looking into their financials and stuff, and it looks like they're doing pretty good. And they're big on services and moving, so I like that.
Yes, they do a lot of home services. They bought a company that focuses on for people getting handyman and like finding handyman, plumbers, electricians, things like that. So I'm really seeing this going forward. As you can see here, like they're down for the year 27%, but in the last 3 months, you see here they're up 300%. So you would have made a nice gain if you've been buying this whole time over the last year. However, I have a feeling that people are pulling back because they think that they're not going to make a profit. But I have a feeling, as you guys can see here, here's 2022. Now they're not going to report their 2023, I think, until March is when they're going to report on on the on the final quarter for 2023. So, but it's looking pretty good. I don't expect a dividend off this stock, but it's still looking pretty good. As you see here, a lot of debt was taken on in 2022 when they were buying up everybody. So they bought up hire a helper, simple moving labor, moving staffers, a few other businesses. It wouldn't be surprising if they got big enough and they started buying out like Angie, or Angie might buy out this company. No,
Wouldn't
it's
be surprising.
wouldn't be surprising. So as you see here, they started making a growth in their last year. They borrowed a lot of money here. 2021 pandemic really, the buying frenzy of the pandemic really took into effect. And in 2022, they started paying off that debt. So I have a feeling they're going to make 2023 is going to be a good year for them. But I also have a feeling that the markets are going to be a little scared of them and they're going to pull back. So just be warned on that. They might pull back just a little bit for you guys.
Well, yeah, one big pick. It's a crypto pick, but my biggest DCA right now is Chainlink. I'm after reading what Larry Fink said about tokenizing real world assets. That made me and a lot of people very bullish on Chainlink even more because the fact that Larry Fink's talking about tokenizing real world assets. That's a big step for the industry. Like a lot of people like that the naysayers of crypto, they call it monopoly money or what does it do?
Hmm.
Well, Chainlink and Quant, those two type of projects, that's going to prove a lot of those people wrong, and it's going to bring big traditional money into the industry. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the volume of crypto once big traditional money comes in is like 900 billion to 2 trillion. Like that's what we're going to see the 24-hour volume of crypto be eventually.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have a feeling we're going to see in this bull run the 20-25 trillion market cap for crypto, because there's going to be so much money being put into it. And a lot of it, I won't been making its own video on this, but a lot of it is going to be about what I'm calling the Andrew Tate effect, because he blew up around like 2021, 2022, and kind of ran through 2023, right? So he has such this overwhelming effect on what's going on in the markets, really. And a lot of young guys about Cody's age, somewhere between, I would say, 15 to 25, are now focusing on investing, which has never happened before. And I think we're going to see a nice, probably about 35% of that age group start to really focus on building money, investing, and saving, buying real estate, but they're mostly going to be buying crypto and stocks. So that money is going to come flooding, just absolutely flooding into here. And I have a
You
really
know,
good feeling that they're going to ramp up this bull run, and this will probably be the last bull run, because the last big bull run, we'll have bull runs, but this is going to be the last bull run where you could put in $100,000 and then have
a
like
million.
a couple, like $4 or $5 million off of it.
Yeah.
Probably the last crypto run of that will happen.
Speaking of Andrew Tate, he popped up out of nowhere at the end of 2020, early 2021. And guess when that was? the last crypto bull run. And it's crazy. I guarantee you when we get this big bull run, you're going to see Andrew Tate coming out talking about crypto again like he used to. And big influence like red pill community and stuff like that. It's going to have a big effect. So what you're saying is very realistic. It's very sensible.
Yes, and these guys are going to invest hard. And now not only those guys, like the single guys that are feel like they've been left out and are following those red pillars, but also you have a lot of married guys that are trying to make more money, kind of like Crypto Dream. Like, I know, shout out to him and support his channel. He definitely was a longtime supporter of ours. So give him a like and subscribe there as well. But a lot of guys are like him. He's a family man. He's got kids. He's got a family to take care of, and they just need extra money. Like they're looking for an extra 30, 40K a year to supplement, their retirement funding, covering expenses for kids like daycare, summer camps, um, all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of married folk, young married folk, I should say, that are in between 25 and 35 that have young kids or like tweens, and they're also investing as well because they're trying to cover the money gap in their retirement funds, and they're also trying to get out of their current situations. Shout out to Crypto Dream. We were just chatting about you. Hardworking American family guys trying to make their way through this financial market and economy. But shout out to him. Give him a like and subscribe as well. I do see we have a few people on Twitch, so that's surprising. So shout out to you guys too. Give us a follow there as well. Help us grow. But really appreciate you guys
Man,
joining
speaking
in.
of Speaking
Go
of
ahead. Sorry.
America, eventually, like once if we get a big bull run and I see huge profits, and that's if I see huge profits, I definitely want to go to an island or like somewhere on Dubai and just kick my feet up for a couple months because I've never seen anywhere outside of the state, let alone the country. I haven't been anywhere really. And so that would be a nice thing to do because there's a lot of beautiful like spots and islands that you can go to in this world.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And hopefully I think we're going to do better. I also think that this year is going to be still a good year to dollar cost average in. Might not be as good as 2022. 2022 was like phenomenal. I was getting like XRP at like 28 cents, 30 cents. You're getting chain link and dot at like $5. You were
Quant at
getting,
45 to 80.
yeah, you were getting good prices on everything. Bitcoin was at 16,000.
Ethereum 800 in
Yep.
June.
Yep. 800, 1,000, 1,100. I don't see we're going to hit those levels again. Those levels are probably never coming back. But I will say we will see, like, you'll probably see XRP high 40s. You'll probably see Chainlink go down to like 10. You might see DOT go down to 6. You might see some like Quant go down to about high 90s again. And then it's going to start ramping up again. Because right now we're
You
getting
know what's
more
crazy
fear.
about DOT? I put in a couple $1,000s.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
I put
No,
in
go
a
ahead.
Oh, you're good. I put in a couple $1,000s at $6. So if it went back to $6, I mean, I'd be back to my initial investment. I mean, I have way more than that. I almost have 1,000. I'm pretty much at 1,000 DOT, but I added a couple more thousand to get where I'm at. Then staking rewards are coming in. Like I'm getting like $5 a day in staking from Polkadot. That's a Starbucks coffee. It's almost like I'm getting a Starbucks coffee every day for free in Polkadot.
Yeah, that's the power of staking, and I'm thinking about staking my Chainlink for this year on DeFi wallet. There's one on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. If you guys are interested, just be careful. Understanding terms and conditions and the lockout periods. But I don't foresee myself letting go of Chainlink for a while because I see more and more and more value in it. So I'm going to be holding it and staking it. And I think right now it's only like 4.5% they're giving, but I think people are going to I think I might want to stake it in there and get
Man,
back more chain link on it. But go ahead, Cody. I'm
I've
sorry.
been following the smart dex trades, that crypto AI I sent you, and I'm checking all these wallets. I'm seeing like big money going to Chainlink every single day. I get notifications. This address deposited 80,000. This address deposited 100,000. This address deposited 300,000. And when you see big money flowing in nonstop to a single individual crypto asset, that says a lot. And then days after that, Larry Fink goes and talks about Chainlink and tokenization. Isn't that weird how all this big money flows in and then days after that, Larry Fink talks about that? Like, it's almost like these people knew.
Yep. It's a lot of people understand, like, in the financial world on Wall Street, not only do traders constantly watch information and news, but they pay people to gather information. When I was on the Wall Street back in the day in the 2000s, what I did was I had like 5 people that I paid to just gather information, just gather it. Whether it's personal information about CEOs, they're essentially private investigators. Like, just find this stuff for me, and that would help us build our investment strategy. Like, you'd be surprised that finding out like what's going on in a CEO's personal life can affect a company's stock. And the same thing happens in crypto. Like, what goes on the sidelines can affect what goes on in the market. I don't think
Yeah, oh
people pay
yeah.
much attention to that.
I did research on what people at Chainlink, like the employees at Chainlink Labs, make. These people make like upper six figures salaries. Developers, marketing people, like people at Chainlink Labs get paid really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Web3 development, blockchain development and support, those jobs are going to be crazy. My brother's already doing training and learning on that side as well. I mean, he is eventually leaving our moving business to go back to that. And I think he's getting crazy offers like 300, 400, 500,000. Now he's already has computer science and programming and knowledge like that. He already has a lot of that. And he's a chemical engineer. So he'd already had a lot of the base training over the last 10 years of his life. Now he's doing all the Web3 training and all that stuff. So he's probably going to end up with a 500, 600,000 a year salary, and
Dang.
he's going to be doing really well. But keep in mind, guys, he's going to be 36 this year, and he has about 12 years of experience in computer programming and coding and learning that, and he has a lot of base knowledge that he self-taught himself about AI and bots and programming. So he's way out there. He's way ahead of a lot of people. So don't let that discourage you. Like, it's going to take a lot of work to get there, but you could still get a good six-figure job in Web3. I have a feeling
Yes.
after the tech industry stabilizes on all the labor, that those openings are going to start happening again. So just be prepared for it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to happen until about beginning of 2025, because these companies need more money. They need to borrow more money, and money has to be cheap in order for them to start hiring on these professionals. So just beware. They're not going to be hiring this year. Probably next year is when they're going to start hiring.
Well, after the bull run, if we get a bull run, I've been thinking that I want to take my profits and I could possibly pay out of pocket, to go to school and learn all of these big things. Like, I want to pursue a career in Web3 because Web3 is just a growing industry, and a lot of big tech corporations, they don't like Web3 just because Web3. Like, I've seen big tech people. I've gone on these forums on these people who work for big tech company. A lot of them don't like Web3, and it's mainly, I think the real reason is because a lot of people feel threatened by it.
Well, they're used to the Web 2 version, and and a lot of big companies have monopolized that area. So any change that threatens that is going to make people involved in that area upset about a new area. It's always going to happen. And it's funny because they are becoming what they fought against in the 90s that they didn't like, and now they are those same people that are rejecting change. So it's just coming full circle. But
The
Web3 is
cycle
definitely going to be
continues.
something that's going to be involved. And you don't have to go to a tech company for Web3. Like Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Amazon, like all these other companies, even like non-tech related companies, real estate companies are all going to be utilizing Web3. They're all going to start hiring programmers and stuff. And so you
Yeah,
still can get a good job off of it.
I see that if I get my foot in the game, and I start learning, I think within 3 years of learning, I should be able to pull in like 150 grand a year or more.
Yeah, I would say probably about 80 to 90 grand is the entry level for Web3. Once you've
Yeah,
got all the appropriate certifications and training done. But there's also a lot of companies out there willing to train you up and then get you on board.
yeah, I'd love to be in that. I'd love to be in that spot. You just got to put in the work, and you gotta delay gratification.
So yeah, and Chainlink's gonna be one of those. I think they're gonna not only are they gonna offer more jobs in the US for Web3 development and tokenizing assets on their blockchain, but they are this is primed to take off. We might see higher than $100 Chainlink for this coming
I
bull.
think so too. That's
We
why I'm
might
trying to
see
get
250.
500. That's why I'm trying to get 500 to 1,000 link, because as soon as I buy, the quant that I need to hit 100, as soon as I hit 100 quant, which I only need 10 more quant, that's nothing. But as soon as I hit that 100 quant mark, I'm going to be buying. The only crypto that I'm going to be buying is Chainlink. And I might buy some Ethereum because, I would need some Ethereum to move both of those ERC20s. But I'm going to be very hard on Chainlink, very hard on trying to get to 1,000 link.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like it's just crazy because I was skeptical over I would say 2022, but I should have been buying Chainlink over the whole time. I'm kind of kicking myself on it because if you're looking at the price over the last 2 years, like you're looking at 2022, it was staying steady, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, dropped down to 5 a little bit. And then this year it was really low. And now that all the projects are bearing fruit, more developers are hitting their network, more activity is happening, their roadmaps kind of happening. It's going crazy for them now. So
With CCIP as well. And it's always the ones you're skeptical about. I've noticed that. Like Solana, I kick myself every day about not buying Solana, because if I would have just bought into Solana all year, I'd have about 100 grand. And then I could start using that money that I made from Solana to buy into Quant and like Ethereum and stuff like that. And looking back, that was a huge opportunity. But hindsight's always 2020, because I really thought that Solana was not going to make it, with the 2021 outages and, being involved with Alameda. I really thought Sol, and a lot of people thought Sol wasn't going to make it either. It wasn't just me. If you went on the crypto Reddits and you went on places on the internet, a lot of people didn't like Solana for the longest. Now, all of a sudden, the script changed.
yeah, and
And they're
so
coming out with the Solana phone too. They're coming out with the second Solana phone next year.
mhm. So yeah, they are making moves. I'm still a little worried. You guys should still have a healthy amount of worry in this and fear, because there's a lot of venture capitalists that got money in Solana that are really looking to make their money back, especially since venture capitalist firms and basically whales this year got hit hard. They got hit hard. So they're trying to make their money back. And I don't blame them. It's tough losing several $100 million, but they're going to try and make their money back. Trust me on that.
Oh yeah. Now Solana itself, I don't know if there's going to be another outage. It's going to have to be in a real bull run to see. But the argument to that is, well, Solana during 2021 was in its beta stage, which is true. It was in its beta stage, but you never know what could happen again. What if Solana's this big player now, and in the bull run, you see a big, all it takes is one outage. If Solana goes through a network outage, the price could drop 25 to 50% in a bull run.
Yes. And they might suffer an outage because I have a feeling because Solana's name is popular among a lot of people. Even casual crypto people know of Solana. And if they see any negativity, they're going to pull out right away, especially retail investors. They're going to be the quickest and the first to pull their money out as quickly as possible.
That's usually how it always goes. In 2021, I remember seeing it didn't just happen once, it happened twice. And I was all like, man, what is going on with Solana? It was around the time I was working for you, actually. When I first started working for you, we were in that end of the bull run phase. That's when Solana really took off. And oh man, I remember that happening. I was actually on a job when I heard about Solana having an outage, working for you. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I remember being in the office watching it. I was like, "Ooh, this is not." It's like it's the third crash. It's not looking good. So I definitely feel and understand for that. But we're definitely
Now, I
want to be a
have
little wary.
noticed that
But no, go ahead, Cody.
I have noticed that, during the holidays, like during late November, around Christmas time, we had the big Solana's going to kill Ethereum narrative. I've noticed that narrative has cooled off a lot because Ethereum has gone up since then. We're seeing the 24-hour volume on Ethereum go up, and a lot more is happening with Ethereum, especially with layer twos. So I think these big narratives that, oh, Solana's going to kill ETH or this is going to kill ETH, they're all short-lived narratives.
Oh, absolutely. I don't foresee it happening that way. I don't think you're going to be able to bring down Ethereum at this point. It's just way too big, way too connected. You would have to really, really, really be stellar at what you're doing to try to overtake Ethereum. Not saying that it's possible. It's not possible, but it's just not possible for Solana. I don't think Solana is going to do it. I think they'll be a strong competitor,
I
but
don't
they're
think
never
so.
going to be able to overtake it.
Yeah, and the ecosystem activity has gone up, but just because activity in an ecosystem is going up, that doesn't necessarily mean. And people get really excited on crypto Twitter and stuff like that. You see people really get ahead of themselves. Like people still to this day don't even really understand what Ethereum is. Like it's people think that Ethereum is supposed to be this lightning fast, cheap network, and Ethereum was not designed for that to happen. Like Ethereum was designed for, layer twos and other projects within the Ethereum
Mhm.
ecosystem to actually be that way. But Ethereum itself, the ETH token itself, it's meant to be secure and store value. Not so
Yes.
much store value as Bitcoin, but it's meant to store value. And that's why the fees are so high on the network. Because if there was a malicious actor who was trying to take down the Ethereum network,
Mhm.
it would be they'd have a low possibility of doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Very low.
Absolutely. Like I said, Ethereum is definitely way more secure. But you just never know. There might be something they never disclosed that Solana's working on. So you never know. But at the same time, I'm not going to be. I'm going to keep my skepticism about it because I only got about what 2%. Where's Solana? 1% of my portfolio in Solana. So I'm not fully committed to it. I just got a little bit in there. So if it does run up, I will make some money and cash out. But if I lose it, it's not going to hurt me in the long run.
I even see big crypto YouTubers that have missed the boat on Solana. Like it wasn't just like people like you and me. A lot of people missed the boat on Solana because a lot of people
Mhm.
genuinely. I mean, look at the ecosystem activity in 2022. The total value dropped by 80%. and the
Oh yeah,
users dropped by 80%, and it was involved with Alameda. Like, who could have known? Who really could have known unless you were an insider or somebody that was a diehard Solana fan?
yep, exactly. And it's like you can see right here in November of 2022, like it just collapsed right there, and that was all Alameda's trading was influencing this, and it never recovered until recently. But to be fair, you're only working with your best information and your own personal hindsight and understanding. So everybody made the assumption that Solana was being manipulated, and if it's being manipulated by Alameda, it's probably going to be manipulated by everyone else who lost money on it. So let's stay away from it, which was a very common sense, rational
Yeah.
decision to make in investing. You didn't want to get involved in something that was kind of being used in boiler room tactics. We understand that, but all of us forgot that Solana was an actual project separated from Alameda and FTX, and they were actually doing their own stuff on the side. So once people realized that they're actually doing stuff and they're actually progressing, the money started coming back into it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. But it wouldn't surprise me if we do see a $500, $600 Solana during the bull run. Just wouldn't surprise me because it's still one of the most well-known cryptos from heavy crypto people to beginners to average retail investor. Even people who are not investing in crypto that know nothing about crypto know the name Solana. And what a lot of
Exactly. But
one second, Cody, but what a lot of people don't understand is that the the retail investors and those average people invest on what is familiar to them. And since they're familiar with Solana, they're just going to put money into Solana, especially since in the beginning of the bull run, they're going to see Solana's making money. They're going to put money into it, and they're going to put a lot of money into it. But go ahead, Cody.
oh, I was just saying, like, as Solana at this size, like, I'm a big value chaser, and when you compare Chainlink use case wise, and when you compare Chainlink and market cap, I just see a lot more opportunity in Chainlink because what sounds better, buying Chainlink at $15 and selling it at $100 to $200, or buying Solana at its current size $100 and selling it at like 500, 600? Because I really don't see Solana going to 1,000. Some people say Solana to 1,000. I just don't see it, especially with its tokenomics. I see the highest price. It'll surpass all-time high, and it'll go to max $600, maybe $7, but nothing over $7.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. That's my sentiments exactly. And it depends on also how they perform. If there's any crashes on their network during the bull run, then Solana's dead. It's dead in the water.
Yep.
But if they make it through the bull run with no problems, they will probably be around for the next one. And they'll have a steady value increase after that.
It's just how it
But
is. It's a dog eat dog world.
oh yeah, it certainly is. Let me get the last 2 years because I kind of want to talk a little bit about Healthcare Inc. This is a healthcare provider and a hospital provider. So one of the largest in the United States. So as you can see here, they did very well over the last 3 years, just been on a meteoric rise. And this is kind of one of the examples you want to it's better to be in the market than to time the market because you would have made a lot more money if you just been buying and holding a stock over the last since January of 2021. And this has been in my portfolio for I'd say probably about 6 years. Cause yeah, I was buying like around 2017 was when I was buying, and I was just steadily buying
That's
ahead.
a really good buy.
Oh yeah, because unfortunately, with the diets of American, you're always going to be sick. These guys are always going to be making money. But I also want to let you guys know these guys always get sued. So just understand that they always get sued. So like there's like one right here where North Carolina, the state sues HCH Healthcare for failing to maintain care standards after Mission Health System deal. So like they have a lot of integration of hospitals. They've been buying out a lot of other hospital companies, and unfortunately, in the healthcare industry, buying an underperforming healthcare provider is not really as good as like if you're uh, Walmart buying your underperforming competitor, because there's so many problems. There's so many things you got to get back up to standards, and you're not dealing with products. You're dealing with people's lives. So there's going to be a lot of integration problems with a lot of companies they acquired over the last 2 years. That's going to might cause problems for them. But overall, their dividend is still high. They're still growing. They're still they're obviously still making money. And I could tell you this, that they're probably not going anywhere in the next um probably not going anywhere in the next what should I say, next 5 years. I don't see a decline anywhere on it.
You see, if I had like, let's say, if I had 100,000, I wanted to put into stocks, I would put probably 20% into that, so about 20,000, and then I would put most of that 100,000 into index funds like the S&P, the Dow and stuff like that. See, eventually I want to build a big stock portfolio, right? Like that. I'm just all in on crypto right now, but eventually once I take that massive profit, I really am really itching to use most of that money to build a big stock and index fund portfolio, because that consistent growth is what matters. You can hit a big boom, but once you hit that big boom, you need to focus on consistency and steady. You can make the big boom when you're young, but the way I see it is take that big money that you make from a big boom and then you use it
Mhm.
towards steady growth.
Absolutely. And that's what I say. And Cody and I got a plan. And if you're in Cody's position, and we're probably going to wrap it up here in a little bit, but if you're in Cody's position, the best thing you can do is invest in crypto. When you get the bull run, take your profits and bring it into real estate. Now, I will say, like, if you're in Cody's position, the next thing you have to do before you can buy real estate is make sure, let's get a car loan, something you don't have to get like a crazy car. Get something for like 15, 12, maybe 20,000 at the most. Get a loan because that's going to be a big loan purchase. Put a nice healthy down payment. So if it's like 20,000, put like 5, have 15,000, and then pay that sucker off in 2 years. And that's going to prime you to say, hey, look, I can take on big purchases and pay them off. Now, a bank's going to give you a loan for a property. And what I would say is go target like a nice, cheap, effective, but not too like downtrodden, but a nice duplex or triplex. Rent that, get that in. Live. You're gonna have to live in there with that first home buyer deal for 2 years, and then rent out the other 2 units, and then 2 years down the road, you can move out, repeat the process, and after 4 years, you'll have 4 or 6 units that you're renting out with steady cash flow, and then you can probably get a good corporate loan on your next property, and then just repeat the process, and then before you know it, once you get to about 16 doors, you can double your doors every year. And since you're doing this on a 2 year, every 2 years you're buying a property. Well, guess what? Now you're paying down that equity, and by the time you get your fourth property, your first property is probably getting ready to have a substantial amount of equity, so you can not pay that off or refinance and take some cash out and do other projects, things like that. But don't go refinance crazy, because a lot of those guys that kept telling you over the last 3 years, refinance, buy property, refinance in a year, cash out, tax free. Let me tell you something. Those properties head into foreclosure because they're underwater, because the values are tanking right now. And if you did that in Austin, bought $800,000 home, it rose to 1.2 million during the pandemic. You're renting it out, you cashed out 400,000 equity on the property. Well, guess what's going to happen now? Now that property is only worth 600,000. So now it's 600,000 underwater. the bank's going to foreclose on it. Whether you're on time with the payment or not, they're going to foreclose on it because it is an asset liability. And those type of properties are getting washed out. I already see the ROA markets getting flooded with these homes. So you just want to be careful about that. I don't like having more than 50% of net value borrowed. So like my total assets on my properties is about 21 million. My total mortgage value is about 13 million. I like it keeping it there because if the banks call those loans, which they can do, believe it or not, the bank can say, "Hey, we just want all our money today." I'm still in a good position. I could sell what I need to sell to pay back those loans and still have my cash flowing business going. I might not have as much, but I can still go. That's the position you want to be in. You don't want to be there. There's a guy in my network that has like, I think 900 doors. 900 doors, a lot of properties. He has about 50 million in properties, but he has $58 million in liabilities. Well, I hate to say it, but he's going to run into a problem and he's going to get foreclosed on. And since it's corporate properties, they'll just foreclose everything. They'll just shut down everything he has. And once one bank does it on him, the other banks will kind of do it on him, and it's like a cascading effect. So it's kind of like the banks doing a run on you, and you just don't have the money to pay it back. That's why I say steady building of your real estate portfolio, just like your stock portfolio, just like your crypto portfolio, steady, slow, educated, and valuation buys to build what you have. So I'm going to say I gotta head out now because I do have to get going. I actually have to head out to Mountain Home today to go meet with some new clients for my logistics side. But I do appreciate all you guys joining us in here. We had quite a few people coming in and out. I'm really trying to get these more steady for you guys. It's been crazy because I just got back in from doing a route to Florida. I've been on the road. I've been doing a lot of things. So, and tomorrow I'll be moving one of Smitty's clients. So we'll be moving his mom over to her new home. So look forward to helping get that taken care of, and hopefully having a good day tomorrow despite it being cold. But I know we're not going to have any time for final thoughts, so I'm going to talk to you guys later. Definitely invest wisely, invest safely. Don't moonshot your life savings into anything because you will head for a bad time. You will have a
Yep.
bad time. Well, that's the guys. Like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Help us grow. We're growing steadily. Really appreciate all you guys joining in, and have a wonderful day. Happy investing.
You too.